Welcome to the LemnaTec Academy. In this video, we explain the delivery and training schedule. It explains how to get started with your new LemnaTec system. Let's start with an overview. There are working steps done by you as the customer, working steps done by LemnaTec, and interactive working steps. After the phenotyping system has arrived and connected to power and network, we can start with the training process. In the training process, we first give you an insight how to handle the system and the control software, Lemna Control. When you know how to operate the system at hardware and control software side, you are asked to record typical images with all camera types that are inside your system. We will review the images together with you and define an analysis target. Thereafter, we will do the analysis training. When this is finished, you will be able to use all functions of the system. The starting point is that a new LemnaTec system arrives at your facility. If the system does not require an on-site installation, just unwrap it, connect it as described in the instruction, and we can start with the training. This training usually happens remotely. If the system requires an on-site installation, LemnaTec sends technicians to do it, and after the installation they also will give the first steps of training, so showing you around how the system works. Please note the system requirements. This is particularly important if there is no on-site installation where technicians directly tell you what to do. All systems require electricity network connections, as documented and communicated upfront to the delivery. Before delivery, it's also important to ensure that everything matches, like the room size or door opening. Larger systems that also require on-site installation could have further connection demands, like compressed air or water. For such on-site installations, our technical team will contact you concerning the demand. For training and service purposes, TeamViewer is pre-installed on your system's computers. Please make sure that this can be used in your network. For remote training, we require Microsoft Teams or a similar video conferencing service, together with speakers and a microphone on a computer that is in the vicinity of the system. We recommend that your IT responsible person is informed upfront and is available for the process of delivery and installation. The IT needs to ensure that the system can be connected to the internet so that we can do a remote connection and a TeamViewer session for the training purpose. An IT specialist from our side can assist your IT responsible to establish the proper connections so that the system is ready to operate. You will also receive an access and login to the LemnaTec cloud. This cloud later on is useful to exchange data, for instance recorded images and other information for developing the analysis. Once the connection is ready, we can start with the training. The goal of the training is to enable you operating the hardware and all parts of the software. In particular, we will have a look in managing experiments, analyzing images, and retrieving the analyzed data. We will introduce the app's Lemna control, that is what controls the system as such, Lemna experiment to manage the experiments and run the analysis, and Lemna grid for analysis programming. Systems that are delivered without local installation get the complete training via online sessions. For systems with local installation, hardware and control software training are done on-site, and experiment management and analysis training is done online. Our training comprises different levels of expertise. It depends on the way how you are planning to use the system, which levels of expertise you need. If you are planning to work on a single predefined analysis, then basic and a bit of the advanced lessons are sufficient to operate it. If you are planning to work with more self-defined analysis and want to develop additional analysis, advanced and expert levels become relevant. The training classes are designed in a way that you are enabled to reach level 3, so the expert level. Beyond this, setting up completely new types of analysis is something for independent phenotypers. This requires further self-training or booking of advanced lessons. So let's take a quick tour through the training. First, you will learn how to operate the hardware and the control software. This also includes guidelines for sample preparation and proper positioning of the samples in the system. Once you know how to handle the hardware, the control software, and prepare the samples, the training also includes how to record images with all the cameras and sensors in the system, how to check the recorded images in Lemna experiment, and how to export them for preparing analysis. It also comprises guidelines which requirements images should fulfill so that they can be properly analyzed. Already in the first training, we will provide an outlook on image analysis and data processing, which will be subject of the follow-up trainings. After the end of the first training, you will get some homework. This means create example images and upload them to the cloud. So now it's your turn. From the first training, you know how to record images with your system with all cameras that are inside. Please prepare samples that cover the typical range of samples that should be analyzed. Please prepare them in a way that they are compatible with the system. So use samples that typically occur in your normal work. Probably different variants of your plants, extreme values, modifications, like different genotypes, treatments, stress factors, or whatever is relevant in your investigation. This is important because image processing only can recognize what it is programmed for. When you have your first set of sampled images that are dedicated for analysis development, please upload them to the cloud. We will schedule a meeting to discuss the scope of analysis. You show us the images of your samples and describe us your ideas of analysis. We will consider your demand and align it with technical feasibilities. So things that work easy, things that require more effort, and probably also things that cannot be reached with image processing. At the end of this session, we will know your samples and your demand for analysis, and you will know what to expect from the analysis. Now it's LemnaTec's turn. Our image processing specialist will develop an analysis pipeline according to our discussion on analysis goals. For phenotyping systems with more than one camera type, this will happen for each camera type included in the system. With the first developed analysis pipelines, we can start the analysis training. During this training, you will get an introduction to all functions of Lambda experiment and the functions of LemnaGrid. This also includes an introduction how to modify and program analysis pipelines in LemnaGrid. The functions of LemnaGrid and Lambda experiment will be introduced in stepwise training sessions. These training steps ensure that you are enabled to set up and run analysis of your recorded images. For some types of analysis, it's required to use machine learning. This is the case if an analysis scope is quite complex, for instance, the analysis of a plant disease or the analysis of very early steps of seed germination or the analysis of root development. If machine learning is required for the analysis, the training also will cover how to set up a machine learning-based analysis. The training also addresses backups and storage management. Let's have a look at the typical timing. We typically can start the introductory training immediately in the week after the delivery. After this, within 2 to 4 weeks, we usually do the feedback and analysis preparation. The timing depends on how fast the samples can be prepared. If the plants take quite long to grow, it may take a bit longer. If the samples are very quick and easy to prepare, it can be faster. Again, in the following 2 to 4 weeks, the introductory training to the analysis development can take place. Once the first analysis is developed, it usually takes 1 or 2 weeks for the training to run the analysis in an experiment. The next steps also depend on the scope of what you want to analyze, are done within 2 or 4 weeks after the respective steps. Overall speaking, we aim to finish the training within the 3 to 6 months after the delivery, whereas 3 months is typical for small systems, while 6 months is typical for large complex systems. When all steps have been done, the training has carried out successfully, you are able to operate your system and run analysis. The LemnaTec service is available for your assistance. Please ask for service options. Please note that all training steps are backed up with respective videos showing the training content.